Today, I'm going to simulate what it's like to raise the ultimate goat. In real life. All we have is this weird spotted egg. It didn't do much at first, but after keeping it warm, it gave a massive shake. The shell exploded and out popped a baby Will. He's only a few inches tall, and yes, he actually has a little flame on his tail. I let him take his first wobbly steps on the kitchen counter, but he got tired pretty fast and needed a nap. While he slept, I had to build him a proper habitat so he could grow up strong. I grabbed a massive glass tank and started laying down the foundation. First, a deep layer of sand. Then I split it into 3 zones. On the right, a desert biome with rocks and cacti. On the left, a dense forest biome with rich soil and bark for him to climb on. And right in the middle, a miniature smoking volcano with actual glowing lava. It is the absolute dream playground for a fiery little goat. When Will woke up, I lowered him into his new home. He immediately went to explore. He took a quick drink from the desert pond, tested his hooves by scaling the mossy tree bark, and then he actually used the water bowl as a heated hot tub. But since he loves the heat, he eventually just climbed straight into the volcano's crater to bathe in the lava. Now, to grow into a pro athlete, this goat needs to eat. I started him off with some raw steak, which he loved. Then we moved on to a massive strawberry, some juicy watermelon that got all over his face, and finally a square of chocolate that literally melted from his fire breath. He was full of energy, so I took him outside for his very first training session. Almost immediately, we ran into a wild miniature Modo Olachenko resting on a branch. This little Komodo dragon was mean. He spat a venomous string right in Will's face. But Will didn't back down. He tackled Modo, wrestled him on the log, and unleashed his very first ember attack to win the battle. After brushing his teeth and getting some sleep, Will started getting a little too confident. He got bored, rode a skateboard around the living room, and actually snuck out the front door to grab a snack from the apple tree. But as he walked back inside, disaster struck. A giant, slithering tail crept onto the couch. It was Maine attraction, a massive, terrifying Andalusian horse that completely ambushed Will, wrapping him up in a crushing grip. Will dropped his apple, gasping for air as the giant horse snorted in his face. But right when I thought it was over, Will started to glow. The light was blinding. Pushed to his absolute limit, he evolved. He transformed into Teen Will Harris, bipedal, heavily muscled, and incredibly angry. With his new strength, he broke free, blasted Mania Traction with a massive roar of fire, and claimed his living room back. Teen Will was now way too big for the glass tank. He was literally taking naps on my couch. So, I built him a massive outdoor gym in the backyard, complete with a stone wall, a deeper pond, a giant volcano, and a heavy-duty punching bag. He absolutely loved it. He hit the punching bag with professional boxing combos and even chopped thick wooden planks in half with his bare hooves. When another wild Modo Olachenko tried to invade the yard, Will didn't even hesitate. He tackled the Komodo dragon and hit him with a devastating, fiery knockout punch. He was getting seriously strong. With all this training, his appetite was out of control. We went out for spicy jalapenos, sushi, and he even ate an entire pepperoni pizza on the hood of my car. But Will wanted a real challenge. So, he stole my Dodge Challenger. Seriously, he just got in and drove recklessly into the desert mountains to find stronger opponents. He scaled a vertical cliff face with his bare hooves and roared into the sky, challenging everything in sight. What followed was an epic training montage. He fought bigger, faster, and more armored versions of Modo Olachenko. He dodged heavy blows, shattered boulders with blazing headbutts, and wrestled wild reptiles to the dirt. He was becoming a legend. But he woke up the wrong beast. Deep in a dark cave, the ground started to shake. Main attraction was back. And this time, he was the size of a mountain. The colossal horse chased Will across the canyon, backing him right up to the edge of a bottomless cliff. With one terrifying lunge, Maine Attraction headbutted Will straight over the edge. As Will plummeted down the gorge, I thought it was all over. Out of the light burst an adult, legendary, winged Will Harris. He spread his massive dragon wings, stopped his fall, and flew right back up to the cliff face.